Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinadhimastu Ma Vidvashavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namah Shivaya. Isha Upanishad. May the Lord God Shiva protect us together, nourish us together. May we both all work together with a great energy. May our study be spiritual, vigorous and effective. May we not hate each other. May we love each other and be happy with each other. This is the Isha Upanishad prayer. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May my limbs, speech, energy, eyes, ears and vitality, as well as all my senses, become more vigorous, energized. This all are the Shiva Parabrahma of this Isha Upanishad. May I never deny Brahma, Shiva Parabrahma, and no Shiva Parabrahma deny me. Let there be no denial at all. Let there be no denial at least from me. May all the virtues that dwell on the Upanishad live in me, reside in me. I am who I am, devoted to the Atman, to Shiva Parabrahma. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. By whom desired and set forth does the mind flow towards its subject, at whose bidding again does the chief prana, swaprana, breath proceed to its function, by whom wished do men to human utter the speech. What is the greatest one? What is the enlightened one? Indeed directs the eye or ear. What perceptive directs the eye, or what is listened by the earth? The mind of the mind, the speech of the speech. The eye is also the prana. We live with the prana and prana of the prana. Eye of the eye we see, knowing thus the wise one, having understood all the false identification of the self with the senses, become divine, immortal. When departed from this world, he will be liberated. Then goes neither the eye, nor the speech, nor the mind. We know it not, nor do we see how to teach one about it. Different it is from all that are known, and is beyond the unknown as well. Thus we have heard from the ancient seers who explained that to us. न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छन्ति न वाग गच्छन्ति मनो न विद्यो न विजिमामो यथैथ मुशिष्यात् चक्षरी. Neither eyes, nor speech, nor mind, we know thy. We know it not, nor do we see how to teach one about it. Different it is the form of all the known, and beyond is the unknown, and unknown as well. Thus we have heard from the ancient seers seekers, sages, Himalayan masters who explained that to us. We have it not knowledge is possible where there are the two things, the knower and known. We know knowledge only when we know the knower and known, the subject and object. The Atman being the knower, the subject itself. I cannot become the known, the object at the same time. So knowledge of the Atman is impossible in the ordinary sense of the word. But one can have intuitive cognitions of the being, what we call aparokshanuvati. Beyond this unknown, there are two states of existence. Existence of this objective world, the causal and unmanifested state, and the gross or manifested state. Of this, we can sense only the manifested state. The unmanifested, casual state, causal state cannot be perceived by us. So in some of the Himalayan philosophies, the casual state of creation is denoted as unknown, ajnat. Atman is beyond that state. O kene shitam patati preshitam manaha, kena prana pratama prati yuktaha, kene shita vachamivam vadanti chakshu, shotram kau devo yunakti. Kena Upnishad. It's asking by whom will and wish directed does the mind light on its subject? By whose wish the mind know the subject? By whom commanded does prana, breath, the first movement, and by whose will do men speak this speech? What intelligence directs the eye and the ear? Om Namah Shivaya. By whom directed does prana go? About its own business. Prathama is the appropriate objective of a prana, of a breath. Activity of all sensory organ, presumptuous. By whom prompted is the speech which man, the human being in the world, makes use of? The world creates the world, and what intelligence directs the eye to see this whole universe and the ear towards their respective listening?
The knowledge of the Absolute Brahm is the higher knowledge by which immediate liberation, immediate salvation is obtained. This knowledge is possible only for those who are able to withdraw their thoughts from the worldly objects and concentrate on the Absolute. The knowledge of Ishwar or God, on the other hand, which is the lower knowledge, puts one on the path that will eventually lead to liberation, to salvation. The worshipping soul here gradually acquires the higher wisdom, which results in him becoming conscious of the identity of Brahm and of him identifying with and becoming one with Brahm, leading to his salvation. The Upnishad is in the form of a dialogue between the seeker-student and the teacher, Guru. The Upnishad. The pupil asked the Guru, "Respected sir, by whose will and directed by whom does the mind light on its objects? By whose command does life at first move? At whose will do people utter their speech? And what God is it that prompts the eye and the ear to do their respective functions?" The Guru replies, the one who does all this is the supreme reality called Brahm. Brahm cannot be seen by the eyes. Brahm cannot be described by speech, nor can Brahm be comprehended by the mind. Brahm is beyond the reach and grasp of the mind and the senses. And since knowledge of anything arises through the senses and the mind, and since Brahm is not grasped by either of these, we do not know and we do not understand how one can teach or explain Brahm to anyone. Brahm is other than the known, and it is also other than the not known, the unknown. Indeed, it is above both the known and the unknown, but it is not as if it is unknowable. So have we heard from the ancients who have explained Brahm to us. Brahm is not that which is expressed through speech, but it is that by which speech is expressed and not what people hear, think and worship. That which is not thought by the mind, but by which the mind thinks. Know that truly to be Brahm and not what people hear, think and worship. That which is not seen by the eye, but by which the eye sees. Know that truly to be Brahm and not what the people hear, think and worship. That which is not heard by the ear, but that by which the ear hears. Know that truly to be Brahm and not what people hear, think and worship. That which is not breathed by life, but by which life breathes. Know that truly to be Brahm and not what people hear, think and worship. Brahm is the indwelling spirit who is one with our own deepest self and not any object external to us. If you think that you have understood Brahm very well, then you know it but little, whether you be a mortal or even a god. So even though you think it is known to you, and also because it is known only partially, only partly, to know it fully, it has to be investigated by you as a student. Those who know do not speak. Those who do not know speak. It is not understood by those who think they understand it. It is understood by those who think. When Brahm is known through every state of cognition and consciousness, when it is known in the states of waking, dreaming sleep and dreamless sleep, when it is known in all these states, only then is it rightly known. And by such knowledge, one attains life eternal, one attains immortality. Through one's own self, one gains power, and through wisdom, one gains immortality. The self is witness of all states of cognition, and to know it as such is true knowledge. If here on earth, while in this physical body, a person knows Brahm, then he knows the truth, and there is great gain, because then he attains moksha, he attains salvation. But always seeking and seeing the real, always seeing Brahm in all beings, such a wise man becomes immortal. That Brahm once conquered for the gods, who gloried in that conquest, thinking it was a victory won by them alone. Brahm saw this conceit of the gods. To rid them of their conceit, by his power, he appeared before the gods as a spirit in the sky. But the spirit disappeared from the sky, and in its place, in the same region of the sky, Indra came across the most beautiful Uma, daughter of Himalaya. He asked her, "Lady, who is that spirit?" Uma replied, "The spirit you saw in the sky is Brahm, and it was Brahm who conquered for you, which victory you thought you had won by yourself, and in which all of you have been taking so much pride." Then only, on Uma's telling, did Indra realize that the spirit was Brahm. For it was they that touched Brahm closely, for it was they indeed who were the first to know that it was Brahm. And Indra surpasses all the other gods, since he was the first among the gods to know that it was Brahm. He was in fact the first god to know Brahm. Of this Brahm, there is this teaching. Brahm is like a flash of lightning or like the blink of an eye. This is the teaching concerning the gods. This is how the gods see Brahm. He appears before them like a flash of lightning, causing a sudden enlarging of the mind and enlightening of the intellect. Now, the teaching concerning the self. It is this Brahm towards which the mind is always attracted and towards which it moves inexorably. And it is by the same mind that one remembers Brahm constantly and one also exercises his free will. Brahm indeed is the object of all desires, and truly it is the dearest of all. It is to be meditated upon as such. Whosoever knows Brahm as such is sought by all beings. All beings seek such a realized one. He is loved by all. The secret of Brahm has been told to you. We have taught you the Upnishad. Austerities, self-control and work, all these are the support of Brahm. The Vedas are its limbs, and truth is the abode of Brahm. Whosoever knows this, he indeed, in the end, overcomes sin and is firmly established in the Supreme. Yes, he is firmly established in the Supreme.
Om Shri Shankaraya Namaha. Om Shri Kailasapataye Namaha. Om Shri Atmeshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Parvateshwaraya Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Akasham Shanti Prakasham Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinadhimamastu Ma Vidvashavahai Om Shanti Shanti